The other term that's listed there is immobilization. What does it mean if we immobilize something? Well, it means that we're temporarily, at least, keeping it from being there in an available form. Not all of these nutrients, as I mentioned before, that are being broken out of this organic material are going to be mineralized or released in simple inorganic ion form. These organisms, using bacteria and fungi as examples, are not doing this for the benefit of higher forms of plant life. They're doing it for the benefit of themselves. So at least a portion of that nitrogen, a portion of the phosphorus, and certainly a fairly large amount of the carbon are going to be made back into more microorganisms. Well, if it's taken out of one organic molecule and made into another in a living organism, it's not going to be available, at least not initially, to higher forms of plants that are growing in that soil. So therefore we use the term immobilization. It's being fixed, it's being tied up, it's being immobilized. I think the important thing for us to remember here is that whatever gets immobilized today, at some point in time in the future, will become mineralized and therefore later available. So it's kind of like, I think of it as kind of like a time-release fertilizer. This organic material is being broken down. Some of it is immediately available. The nutrients in there are immediately available to the next generation of plants. But a significant portion of that is being held in reserve. It's being tied up, it's being immobilized into the body of microorganisms, and then as they die and decompose over a much longer period of time, we have a constant resupply of many of these nutrients. And that, if you can really understand that, then that explains why the presence of appreciable amounts of organic matter in the soil is so beneficial to that soil's overall health, vitality, and its ability to be a productive soil. This organic material is not only holding nutrients, this organic material is also helping to provide for better aeration, water intake, and water holding capacity in those soils. And it's creating a much more favorable environment for the growth of the roots of plants in that soil. So those two terms, mineralization, rapid breakdown and release into inorganic ion form, immobilization, breaking it out of organic material but then putting it back into living organisms' bodies, temporarily tying it up or fixing it, but at a later point in time it will be mineralized, it will be released. It's only temporarily immobilized in a form not usable by those plants growing in that soil. Well, if we also refer back to this figure 5.6, as I mentioned previously, we see that the simple components in plants are very rapidly mineralized. Some of them are picked up and immobilized back into the bodies of the as it says here, microbial tissue.